Mia was just a bartender, a regular girl in a dangerous place. A place where 80% of the customers were underground rulers, criminals, and gang leaders. She knew it. She was warned, but she stayed because she needed the job. And that's when she met him, Kelvin Power, a name that shook the room the moment he entered. Powerful, dangerous, the kind of man no one dared look in the eye. But Mia, she looked. She watched. She dreamed. Like a fool. She spent months sneaking glances every time he walked into the bar, heart skipping, stomach flipping. But she knew she didn't stand a chance. So she buried her feelings and did her job. Until one night, Kelvin Power walked right up to her and said the words that changed everything. "I want you." And like a hopeless fool in love, she nodded. Minutes later, she was in his arms, his lips on hers, his hands pulling her in like he couldn't breathe without her. That night, he had her over and over again, and it felt like the best thing that ever happened to her. When she woke up the next morning, the bed was empty. But she didn't mind. The way he had touched her, held her, looked at her. He felt something too. She was sure of it. She was wrong. The next day, she tried to approach him with a shy smile, but he looked at her like she was nothing. Like he had never seen her before in his life. Ashamed, heartbroken, she put on her best fake smile and went back to work. It hurt to see him again and again, but she needed the job, so she stayed, until her world was shaken again. She was pregnant for a man who didn't remember touching her, a man who looked at her like a stranger. She had no choice but to quit, to disappear. Thankfully, her aunt understood. She returned to her small town, broken but determined to protect the life growing inside her. 3 years passed, and in those years her son became her everything, her joy, her miracle, her reason to breathe. She left that dangerous world behind and never looked back. She wanted nothing to do with Kelvin Power or the life he lived, until one moment of trust destroyed everything. She opened up to the only friend she had in town, shared the truth just a little, but that friend was dating a gang member, one connected to Power's biggest rival, and she told him. Within days, a hit was placed on her son. Mia didn't wait. She rushed to his son's school, grabbed her child, packed what she could, and ran, from one train to another motel. Fake names, hidden routes. She was running for her son's life, and there was only one man powerful enough to stop what was coming. Kelvin Power, the last man she ever wanted to see again. But she had no choice. The next day she changed her hair, left the motel, took another train straight to the city. She went straight to his company, but they wouldn't let her in. She was told she needed clearance, a special card. She begged, demanded. Nothing worked, until someone pulled her aside and whispered where he was. He wasn't at the office. He was at his engagement party. Engaged? Of course he was. That's none of her business. She came to protect her child, so she went to the grand venue. Security wouldn't let her in. She lied, snuck in with her son, risked everything. And then she saw him, smiling, standing beside his bride-to-be, looking happy, untouchable. Her heart cracked. But she reminded herself this wasn't about her. It was about her son. She pushed through the crowd and walked right up to him and told him everything. Told him about their child. His eyes fell on the boy standing beside her. There was no denying it. Same face, same eyes. Even though his fiancée demanded a DNA test, Mia didn't argue. She agreed right there, in front of everyone. She didn't come to cause a scene. She came to save her son. His fiancé called it insane, screamed for Mia to be removed, demanded they be sent to a hotel instead. But Power refused. He brought them home, to his house, under his protection. That night, under the same roof again, everything came flooding back. Years of emotions, regret, pain, desire. Later that day, Mia sat alone. She couldn't sleep, could barely breathe. Then she heard him, felt him, Kelvin stepped beside her, silent for a moment. Then he whispered, "I did what I did to protect you." Before she could respond, he leaned in and kissed her, soft and intense. Her eyes fluttered shut. She felt everything she tried to forget rush back in. And for a moment, just a heartbeat, she kissed him back. But then she remembered the morning he left, the way he looked through her, the silence that followed. She pulled away, breath shaky. "I hate you," she whispered. Kelvin said nothing, but the look in his eyes said it all. He had just tasted something real, and she had every reason not to give it to him. She shut the door on his face. She wasn't going to fall into the same trap again. Never. She's here for her son and son alone, and it will stay that way.